All right, good evening, everyone. We're going to call the meeting to order at 7:03. We're in the auditorium at PS DuPont Middle School. Can I ask Mr. Najemi to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Mr. Skrobot, second.
Second.
Mr. Najemi, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Before we start, I'd like to invite the principal at PS DuPont Middle School up to welcome everyone. Mr. Smalls, thanks for having me.
So, good evening and welcome to PS DuPont Middle School for the Brandywine School District September board meeting. I'd like to thank Dr. Lawson and Assistant Mr. Rivera for inviting me to say a few words about PS. So, my name's Llewellyn Small, and I have the privilege of serving as principal here at PS DuPont. This marks the beginning of my third year in this role. Prior to joining the Brandywine School District, I served as a principal for at Fugate Middle School in Westchester, Pennsylvania for 6 years. And then prior to that, I was an assistant principal at East High School. And long time ago, I won't date myself, but prior to that, I was a science teacher and I taught in the junior high system, middle school, and high school. So I've been around education for a long time. I'd like to just share a few highlights, both past and present, about PS. First, the initials stand for Pierre Samuel DuPont, the gentleman for whom this building is named. Mr. DuPont joined the Delaware Board of Education in 1917. And upon seeing the deplorable conditions of black schools in the state, he personally donated $4 million to build approximately 86 new school buildings, a transformational investment in educational equity. This historic building was constructed in 1934 as a high school and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1976. And a lot of the architectural structures are still in place in the building. Today, PS DuPont serves approximately 700 students. We're proud to be the home of the only gifted program in the state of Delaware. Our students and staff have a long tradition of excellence, just to name a few things. We were actually ranked number 16 by World News Report, and that brings us to number 1 in middle schools in the Brandywine School District, with our counterparts being ranked 33 and 42 respectively. I won't say any names. We took first place in 2024 in the Delaware State Math League competition, and we consistently rank among the top 3 teams every year. Our dedicated staff includes veteran educators with advanced credentials, many of whom have been recognized at both the district and state levels for their outstanding contributions to education. We offer a robust related arts program in career and technical education, as well as in the visual and performing arts. And we are also proud of our extracurricular offerings and competitive athletic programs. I'll end by saying, if you're interested in touring the building, I'd be more than happy to show you around and highlight some of the historical features that still remain today. Thank you.
Thank you again for hosting the first of our little road trip here of school board meetings around the district. We appreciate it so much. And that brings us to our first agenda item, number 2, the proclamation for September Hispanic American Month. Kadisha and Zaya will be reading the proclamation. You can come to the podium if you'd like. You can lay it down. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So I'm going to start with the Spanish version first. Mes de la Herencia Hispana 2025, 15 de septiembre al 15 de octubre. Es con gran entusiasmo que el Distrito Escolar Brandywine reconoce y celebra el Mes de la Herencia Hispana. El Mes de la Herencia Hispana tiene su propia historia. En 1968, el Congreso autorizó al presidente Lyndon B. Johnson a proclamar la semana del 15 de septiembre como la Semana Nacional de la Herencia Hispana. Luego, en 1988, la observancia se amplió a una celebración de un mes, convirtiéndola en la única celebración patrimonial que comienza a mediados de mes. La celebración reconoce a los latinos que son conocidos por sus diversas culturas, incluyendo la familia, comida, música y el baile. Hay 16 países de habla hispana en el mundo: Argentina, Chile, Cuba, República Dominicana, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Perú, Uruguay, Bolivia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Honduras, Panamá, Puerto Rico, Venezuela y España. En Delaware hay un 8.2% de personas de ascendencia hispana. Animamos a todos a participar en eventos locales y actividades educativas que promueven el conocimiento y el aprecio de la cultura hispana durante todo el mes. Extendemos nuestro más sincero agradecimiento a los hispanos y latinos americanos por sus invaluables contribuciones a nuestra sociedad, enriqueciendo nuestras comunidades con sus diversas culturas y perspectivas. Gracias. Now in English. 2025 Hispanic Heritage Month, September 15th to October 15th. It is with great enthusiasm that Brandywine School District acknowledges and celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic Heritage Month has a story of its own. In 1968, Congress authorized President Lyndon B. Johnson to proclaim the week of September 15th as National Hispanic Heritage Week. Then, in 1988, the observance was expanded to a month-long celebration, making it the only heritage celebration that starts mid-month. The celebration acknowledges the Latinos who are known for their diverse cultures that embrace family, food, music, and dance. There are 16 Spanish-speaking countries in the world: Argentina, Chile, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Peru, Uruguay, Bolivia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Honduras, Panama, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, and Spain. Delaware hosts an 8.2% population. We encourage everyone to participate in local events. Gratitude to Hispanic and Latino Americans for their invaluable contributions to our society, enriching our communities with their diverse cultures and perspectives. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Zaya. So I'm here because I want to share what immersion means to us. Immersion is more than just learning Spanish. It's about opportunity, flexibility, and empathy. It gives us the chance to think in more complex ways and to explore the world in a whole new way. We have become one and have learned to support each other endlessly. We have made a safe learning environment for each other. Immersion is not just an option, it's an opportunity, and to us, it means everything. Thank you.
Thank you both so much. Any comments from the board? That brings us to item 3, the superintendent's report. Dr. Lawson?
Good evening. Good evening, President Heller, members of the board, and our wonderful Brandywine community. First and foremost, I would like to extend sincere gratitude to those families Thanks. And now my screen went out. Who exhibited grace, patience, and understanding during the transition to Infinite Campus, our new student information system. I would be remiss if I didn't also thank our dedicated BSD administrators and staff for their patience, flexibility, and efforts to cultivate a smooth start to the school year for our students and families. Your professionalism and passion set the tone for a great year ahead. As we continue to focus on data to guide our work and decisions, this month we highlight an important question. Who are BSD students in 2025? By looking closely at some demographics of our students, we better understand the diverse community we serve. This information not only helps us celebrate the richness of our district, but also ensures that our decisions, support, and resources are responsive to the needs of all students and families. First, we take a look at historical fall enrollment marked by the September 30th unit count and seen here in dark blue. We see that Brandywine's enrollment has declined since 2015, but has stabilized over the last 3 years. This second measure of comprehensive or total enrollment of unique students who were enrolled for at least one day throughout the school year in BSD is an indicator of student transience and turnover. 2020 and 2025 show an unusually high transience or movement of students in and out of the district. Why does enrollment and transience matter? Unit count enrollment determines state funding allocations for all district staffing, and transience of students impacts attendance, behavior, and achievement outcomes for all students. Our next slide shows that Brandywine's race and ethnicity demographics have shifted over the past 10 years, with enrollment of white students dropping 8 percentage points, while enrollment of Black students was stable. An increase of Hispanic and multiracial students also accounts for these shifts. Looking at race and ethnicity compared to state enrollment in public education, Brandywine enrolls proportionately more white, Black, and Asian students than the Delaware average, and proportionately fewer Hispanic students. Our final data set looks at enrollment of different student populations. Brandywine has consistently enrolled 8% of Delaware students with disabilities, but raw enrollment in the district increased by 877 students from 2015 to 2024, totaling 2,588 of our students identified with a disability. Our multilingual learners enrollment went up by 21%, or 130 students between school year 15 and school year 24. Growth in the MLL population statewide has increased at an even greater pace. Brandywine's total population is 757 students identified as multilingual learners. The percentage of Delaware's low-income students in Brandywine has remained in the 7 to 8% range of statewide low-income enrollment, even as total enrollment of low-income students has decreased statewide. 3,330 of our students and families are identified by state metrics as low income. Sadly, enrollment of students in foster care is on the rise in Brandywine, even as statewide numbers has decreased. 11% of Delaware students in foster care attended BSD in school year 24. In school year 15, only 5% of Delaware students experienced homelessness attended Brandywine. But by school year 24, 10% of Delaware's homeless students attended Brandywine. Our population has nearly doubled, reaching 362 families district-wide. BSD observed the anniversary of September 11th with heartfelt tributes across the district. I want to highlight 2 annual commemorations at Springer Middle School and Mount Pleasant High School. At Springer Middle School, the Tallyville Fire Company joined staff and families for a 9/11 memorial stair climb. Together, they climbed and descended the front entrance stairs 110 times, symbolizing the 110 floors of the World Trade Center, in honor of the FDNY firefighters who gave their lives that day. The climb served as both a tribute to their bravery and a reminder to future generations of the sacrifices they made. At Mount Pleasant High School, the JROTC led a moving ceremony alongside members of the Brandywine 100 Fire Company, Delaware State Police, and the Delaware National Guard. Cadets and community members honored the courage and sacrifice of the servicemen and women who responded on September 11, 2001, ensuring their legacy lives on in the hearts of students and staff. We extend our gratitude to our community partners whose presence and participation made these commemorations so meaningful. We are excited to announce our annual Choice Information Night on Monday, October 20th at 5:00 p.m. at Springer Middle School, just prior to our monthly Board of Education meeting. This event will provide families with a brief overview of the many opportunities available in the Brandywine School District from kindergarten through grade 12. Families will also have the chance to begin their online choice application with support from our team, who will be available to answer questions and provide assistance. Stay tuned for additional details and key dates regarding this year's choice application window. We're also pleased to invite all families and community members to join us for 2 exciting events this fall: our district-wide high school visitation day on Sunday, November 2nd, and our middle school visitation day on Sunday, November 16th. On these days, our middle and high schools will open their doors to showcase the opportunities available to students who wish to attend one of our middle or high schools. Visitors will have the chance to tour classrooms, labs, and learning spaces, meet our talented teaching staff, administrators, learn about academic programs, extracurricular activities, athletics, and the visual and performing arts, and also explore the unique resources and pathways that make each BSD school community strong. These visitation days are a wonderful way for prospective families to experience the spirit and pride of our schools firsthand. If you are preparing to transition to a new school and want to see great things happening in BSD, we welcome you to attend and discover all that our middle and high schools have to offer. And finally, our September Sizzle video for this month.
Good morning to all Brandywine drivers. The time now is 6:40. It's the first day of school. Everyone be safe.
This is the first day of your last year in middle school. How does that feel?
So crazy.
So crazy.
How we doing? What's up? How are you? Good to see you.
There you go.
Clip day.
All right, clip that. Are you ready? Walk that red carpet, babies. my kindergartners, come to the aisle.
Good morning. Buenos días.
High five. Thank you. I'm so happy to see you today. Good job. Is this your classroom? No. Let's keep going.
Are you over here? That's right, you are in here. Very good. Good morning.
All right. Yep, so you're going to do 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. Junior is here. Junior is here. It's a great day because Junior is here.
So what comes after 5? Raise your hand if you know.
So I'm going to give everyone a job and then I'll explain what to do, okay?
How are you?
Hey, Javier, how are you?
Does anybody know who this cat is? You guys got it!
You two are on.
Hi, Jeremy. It was nice to meet you.
I was informed it was the most amazing first day.
Woo! Best first day ever!
President Heller, this concludes my monthly report.
Thank you. As always, kudos to Mick on that video, amazing shots. And then I had a question on the choice info night. Do you know if that is in person only or if it'll be streamed and or recorded?
I think we could absolutely make it available virtually. Will definitely be in person.
Any other questions for Dr. Lawson?
Thank you. I had a couple of questions, Dr. Lawson. The first one on students in foster care. Do we have a breakdown by age?
We can get that for you, absolutely.
Because in Delaware, those students might be eligible for free in-state tuition if they've been in foster care long enough and they're old enough. At UD or I think Del State as well. The second question I had is really more of a recognition because it wasn't up on the slide, but I had a parent from PS contact me about open house night, and that conflicted with Rosh Hashanah. And I just wanted to recognize Dr. Lawson for getting that, and the principal too, for getting that changed. I let the parent know he was very appreciative of that. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we do have a foster care liaison who I believe is aware of that regulation. And even when children are released, so to speak, from whatever programming, I do think that they are followed. And so I can definitely put you in contact with, we have not only a McKinney-Vinto liaison who is a social worker, but we have one for foster care as well. So those two individuals work very hard on that with that population.
Yeah, that would be great. I know the courts also help out a lot, but I think a partnership, even if it's informal, would be very helpful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions for Dr. Lawson? Thank you. That moves us to public comment. It doesn't look like there's any virtual and no in person. And, next is business board member liaison reports. Mr. Ackerman, DSBA executive.
The executive board met on September 3rd. It was a Wednesday. We had a special guest, Secretary of Education, Dr. Cindy Martin, came to the DSBA executive board meeting. She spoke for about an hour. It was excellent. Chance to kind of get to know her a little better. I've heard, kind of her origin story before, but it was nice to hear it again in more detail. She's originally superintendent from San Diego, but started out, originally as a teacher, inspired by a brother of hers that had disabilities. That got her into education, and then she wanted to go and make a difference in schools where it really needed to have a difference. And she wanted to work in the inner city, and she really did help turn San Diego around. One of the things I was very impressed with that she talked about was the upcoming NAEP assessments coming, I think, in January of next year, and how she's going to meet with the NAEP coordinator to make sure that the people that they're sending into our schools are encouraging the students to do well and are not just sort of grumpy retired people who took a day job, which I thought was really good. And this is something that she did in San Diego. So, NAEP is an important educational progress measure. People say, oh, education in Delaware is terrible. I don't agree with that, otherwise I wouldn't be here. And certainly not in this district. But, it shows in the numbers. So I think her emphasis on being prepared and having the best setting possible for our kids to take the tests is a great idea to make sure that we do as well as we possibly can.
Thank you. DSBA Legislative Committee, Mr. Lavoy.
The first meeting this year for the DSBA Legislative Committee isn't until October 5th, so I'll have a report at our next meeting.
Thank you. District Finance Committee, Mr. Scrobot.
Yes, the Finance Committee met Wednesday, September 10th. We discussed the salary schedules and August monthly financial reports that are on the agenda that Mr. McCoy will share shortly. We also discussed a little bit about the future posting that will be shared across various district platforms and looking at some other communication platforms as we look to expand participation in the District Finance Committee and trying to generate some more interest from members of the public. The committee also selected member Chris Milionis as our chair of the committee for the upcoming year, and our next meeting will be Wednesday, October 8th.
I did see a social media post today, I believe, recruiting new members for the District Finance Committee. So if anyone's interested, check out the district social media for details. Health and Wellness Advisory Committee, that's me. Our first meeting of the year isn't until November 20th. Maintenance Advisory Committee, Mr. Njemi.
We've had 2 meetings since our last meeting, one on August 26th and the other on September 9th. The September 9th was to discuss the new Charles W. Bush Early Education Center, the conceptual planning phase. It was very interesting to see the schematics, to see blueprints, 3D pictures, everything of the proposed new building. It's very exciting. A lot of thought and a lot of hard work has definitely been put into it. I'd like to give recognition to Mr. Reed, who really put a lot of this together in terms of not just getting people together, but getting the presentation together. It was greatly appreciated. Very good experience, and very much looking forward to that happening eventually. In a set amount of time. So there's a lot of things to go on before that comes to fruition, but we have a good team working on it, so we're hoping for very good things in the future. The August 26th meeting, there was something. There are 2 matters that were discussed there. One was Concord High School and the submission for the August 2025 submission to the Department of Education to have Concord High School replaced with another school, physically the building, a whole description of why that was needed, a description of the work that was needed on Concord High. Again, Mr. Reed was kind enough to present that to us and to show us some of the examples and the reasoning behind it. While we do not anticipate the Department of Education for the state of Delaware replacing Concord High School at this time, the application continues to go forward, and hopefully eventually someone in Dover will pay attention and understand the importance of really addressing the needs of that school. The second part was with regards to changes that we are making, changes that are being made to the facilities and fields policies for the Brandywine School District. The policies for the BSD, for both the language for the policy and the fees, have not changed in many years, and this is something that we wanted to address, and we wanted to bring it more in line with the policies of other districts in the area. So Dr. Rivera gave us a presentation where, one, we are going to be updating the fees to make sure that they represent the new contract custodial rates and the HVAC costs, the increased cost of pool chemicals, and field maintenance. So there's going to be an increase in that which we charge to organizations to use the facilities in the BSD. And all of those fees are in line with what other districts do, and they also all are based on, expectations of, what these rates are, what the HVAC costs are. It's not random. It's something that has been thought of very in-depth and detailed. The other part of this is that there's going to be a change to the categories of the organizations that are allowed or that will be using the field. So there is now, will be in the future, 3 categories. Category 1s, which will be school-based groups such as school athletic teams, clubs, performing arts. These groups never have to pay to use the facilities, as would be expected. Category 2 will become any nonprofit organization that primarily serves the residents of Brandywine. They will be charged for any costs incurred by the district, but they will not have to pay for a custodian or HVAC during normal operating hours. And category 3 will be any for-profit organization that is responsible for paying all fees. So these are changes that are going to be proposed and finalized as the school year goes on, but it brings us in line with other districts, and it really helps to offset some of the costs that are being incurred by the district for allowing organizations to use these facilities. Any questions?
When do we expect those fee schedules to be brought to the board for approval?
I believe next month's meeting, they'll be brought up for approval.
I can tell you, in the past, it's been a sensitive topic, just FYI.
And I recognize that, and I know Dr. Rivera and all of Dr. Lawson's team recognizes that. I think part of the reason for having all of the explanation, all of the comparison with other districts, and all of the justification for these changes, we hope will, if not mute, try to address some of the criticism or some of the issues that might come about from organizations finding that something that was previously much less expensive is now slightly more expensive to them. Nobody likes when things are more expensive, but hopefully a full and complete and justified explanation will go part of the way to alleviate their concerns.
So how would we say be treating a civic association that wanted to hold a meeting in the library?
So if it's a civics association, so a nonprofit organization that primarily serves the interests of the Brandywine residents, that'd be category 2, charging costs incurred by the district but not having to pay for custodian or HVAC during normal operating hours. So it would depend upon if their primary service was in the BSD, if they were planning on using the facilities during normal operating hours or later at night, earlier in the morning, if costs would have to be incurred there, and essentially whether or not they're actually non-for-profit, for-profit, whatever the case may be. There are ways by which it could be reviewed. So they'd be probably, as you described it, in category 2.
I think my concern, based on the definition that you're presenting, is that a civic association might not be a designated 501c3 nonprofit. They may just be an organization of citizens that meets occasionally to talk about snow removal costs, things that are going on in the neighborhood, things like that. I would hate to see a group like that lumped into all other group 3. So I think, it would be good to have some wordsmithing in there that accounts for our civic associations, because we have a lot. I mean, there's a Civic Council of Brandywine 100. There used to be a Claymont Civic Coalition. That doesn't exist anymore, but I know CCOVH is still alive and well. They may be a 501c3, but is the Carcroft Civic Association a 501c3? There's paperwork involved with doing that. So I just think we need to be sensitive to the needs of the community. Meeting in the library of our school for 2 hours in the evening from 6 to 8 is not going to incur a lot of cost to the school district. So I think as long as we're taking that into account with the schedule in some way, I can support it. But if we're going to put a burden on civic associations that will require them to do additional paperwork or pay additional fees, that's a different question.
So
There we go. I can say that, well, first of all, we're going to get a full presentation next month that will have all those details, but the case you mentioned in the draft is clearly covered under category 2, and there's no cost when there would already be a custodian in the building already. So any scenario like that would be no cost.
And I would also, we're waiting to see the finalized drafts, but I would also say, the category 3 is for-profit organizations. So, I think that the determination by the administration as to what is for-profit as opposed to what is not for profit is perhaps not necessarily based exclusively on fully, government filings and things of that nature. But it's something that, we will be reviewing what the administration goes on. I will tell you, some of the for-profit organizations, sometimes they're out-of-state for-profit organizations who have used our facilities. And we just want to make sure that, quite honestly, BSD is not being taken advantage of.
I attended the meeting where this was discussed, and I was surprised to hear about the number of out-of-state organizations that use us only because we are extraordinarily the cheapest option they could ever find under the current plan. So that's kind of the premise of adjusting it so it at least aligns with the other districts, and at least it spreads out the use, and it's not only us because we're the cheapest. Anything else?
No, that was it. I'll not sure when the next meeting will be, but I will let everybody know.
That brings us to Mr. Jordan, Parent Council for Students with Disabilities.
Thank you. On September 8th of this year, the Parent Council for Students with Disabilities held its first meeting, and Mr. Lavoie attended as well. It was 5:30 to 6:30 at Mount Pleasant Elementary. There are about a half dozen families who were there, and we had a lot of representatives from the district as well. More importantly, though, I think we had 3 community groups who were there. We had DFRC, which is Delaware Foundation Reaching Citizens, which you might know from the Blue Gold game, DVR, and a group called Wolf Pups, which is relatively new. They provide grants so that families can purchase whatever sort of equipment that they might need for their children. It's a relatively new group. I didn't even get a chance to speak to all of the groups because they were so busy speaking with the parents, which I think was a good thing. I know Mr. Lavoie and I also got a chance to meet with some of the parents and to discuss things and one of the primary issues that was raised. They didn't know that this meeting was going forward. And so trying to get that word out in the community, I think, will help. And another thing that will help, they do offer childcare there for parents who show up. So it's a great thing. Some of the students had baked chocolate-covered pretzels, so doing everything we can to get people to come to these meetings. And so I think the more that the board can do to promote these meetings would also help. Our next one, November 10th, 2025, 5:30 to 6:30, again at Mount Pleasant Elementary in the multi-purpose room. That said, I'm happy to take any questions that anyone has.
Any questions?
I wanted to add that shortly after that meeting, I had a volunteer to sit on that committee and come to every committee meeting who's a former special educator who has since retired and is very active in the group.
Parent and Citizens Advisory Committee, Ms. Stock.
We look forward to having our first meeting October 23rd at Mount Pleasant Elementary in the multipurpose room. We really encourage both citizens as well as parents in the district to please reach out you can reach out to either me, Kimberly.Stock, and send me an email and let me know that you're of your interest, as well as if you do have a child in the district, please reach out to your child's school principal. We are trying to recruit more people to come to the meetings because the board does rely on the feedback. As well, just to also entice you a little bit further, that at this meeting, the district will provide transportation, meal, and childcare too. So we really, really would like people to come out and to let us know so that we can extend an invitation to you. So that will be October 23rd. Dinner will be served, I believe, at 5:30.
Any questions?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Questions?
Wilmington Learning Collaborative, Mr. Najemi.
Yes. Hello. We had a meeting on September 6th. At that meeting, the new leadership for Bayard and Pritchett Academy presented their academic profiles for their last year and for the beginning of this year. They have some new leadership there, so it's very exciting to see how that's going to manifest itself and the progress that they're going to be made through their vision there. We also had additional discussions regarding student outcomes and a focused mindset throughout the WLC. We're obviously, for BSD purposes, very excited to look forward to Harlan presenting later on in the year at the WLC meetings. And then, in addition, the WLC is looking for a CFO. I bravely told them that Mr. McCoy is not available, and I think we all agree to that. But yes, they are looking to get a CFO, and I mentioned that to show that they're looking to ramp up their experience and their expectations as well. So it's something that we expect this year to be very much a doing year for the WLC.
Any questions for Mr. Najemi? All right, 97.1 WMPH, Mr. Lavoie.
Thank you. As many of you know,
Correction,
Paul,
91.7 WMPH.
what's that?
Sorry, there was a typo on here. It's 91.7 WMPH.
Yes, as many of you know who listen to that, that's a wonderful outlet and a resource for our whole community, but also a wonderful learning experience for our students who get to see behind the scenes and on microphone and on the air. And Paul Wishingrad is a real treasure. I know Paul because he came through for his certification through our University of Delaware Alternate Routes to Teacher certification after a very good career as an on-air personality through WDEL. And because of that experience, he brings an awful lot of resources. He's got a lot of connections. Recently, he inherited 7 big pieces of studio furniture, a 24-channel audio artboard, and several other pieces, including microphones and swivel racks and that kind of stuff, from a radio engineer colleague of his who works for iHeartMedia, and their radio station, WDOV in Dover, was decommissioned. So we benefited, and our students have benefited from that connection. So kudos. He continues to do a wonderful job. Any questions? Any on-air comments?
Thank you. Any other additional board member reports? All right, that'll bring us to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ackerman, second. Ms. Stock, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any abstentions?
I'm going to abstain because I was not there for that due to COVID.
Roll call, Ms. Harris?
Question about
yep.
that. Can I abstain from just the September 4th board workshop, because I wasn't there for that one, but not for the other two, or no?
We can break them up.
That would be appreciated, just because I was there for the other two, but not for that one. Okay.
Ms. Harris, we'll just do a roll call for each then. So motion for the August, I'm sorry, which one?
Could we do A?
I just wasn't there for the September 4th one.
Okay, so a motion to approve the minutes of the August 18th executive and regular sessions?
Or, I guess,
Hold on.
new motion.
Yeah, there should be a new motion, right?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so Mr. Scorbat and Mr. Najemi are the motion. Okay, roll call, please.
Yes.
Mr. Ackerman.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Yes.
Ms. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Najemi.
Yes.
Mr. Lavoie.
Yes.
Mr. Jordan.
Abstain.
6 yeses, 1 nay. Motion carries.
One abstain. One abstain, okay. Motion carries. And then is there a motion to approve the minutes of the September 4th board workshop?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Scorbat and Mr. Lavoie. Roll call, please.
Mr. Strobat.
Yes.
Mr. Ackerman.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Yes.
Ms. Scott.
Abstain.
Mr. Najemi.
Abstain.
Mr. Lavoie.
Yes.
Mr. Jordan.
Yes.
5 yeses, 2 abstain. Motion carries.
Thank you. Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the monthly personnel report as discussed in executive session?
So moved.
No, we did A and B together and then C separately.
So moved.
So motion by Mr. Jordan for the monthly personnel report. Is there a second?
Second.
And Mr. Najemi, and I'm just going to ask for a roll call on that too, please, Ms. Harris.
Mr. Strobot.
Yes.
Mr. Ackerman.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Abstain?
Ms. Scott, sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Najemi.
Yes.
Mr. LaVoy.
Yes.
Mr. Jordan.
Yes.
6 yeses, 1 abstain, motion carried.
Thank you. And is there a motion to approve the student matters as discussed in executive session?
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Stock? Second. Give it to Mr. Ackerman. And can we have a roll call on that too, please?
Mr. Strobot.
Yes.
Mr. Ackerman.
Yes.
Mr. Heller.
Abstain?
Ms. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Najemi.
Yes.
Mr. LaVoy.
Yes.
Mr. Jordan.
Yes.
6 yeses, 1 abstain, motion carried.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. All right, that brings us to old business. A, superintendent contract addendum, just a very brief history. Our CFO, Mr. McCoy, found some language in the original contract related to PTO time that contradicted with state code, specifically section 1318 of Title 14. So the board in executive session has drafted an addendum that corrects that error, as well as there was an omission on specifying that PTO payout is amounts that are in excessive of the carryover balance that's allowed in the district. So the board, I believe, has all reviewed the addendum. Is there a motion to accept the addendum to section 3 of the superintendent contract?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so Mr. Lavoy and Mr. Ackerman, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Then 9B is the superintendent goals for 2025 and 2026 that the board has been working on in the August and September workshops. Is there a motion to accept the superintendent goals for the 2025-2026 school year?
So moved.
Mr. Scorbut, second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Ackerman. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries. That brings us to Mr. McCoy and the salary schedules for administrative assistants, chief custodians, food service managers, and assistant managers, mid-level professionals, specialists, and JROTC. That's a long title.
Good evening, President Heller, Vice President Shrobot, Superintendent Dr. Lawson, board members, and audience members. There are certain employment groups that are not part of a collective bargaining agreement. Those salary schedules for these groups are before you tonight. Within these groups, there are 2 subsets. One subset are groups that have salary schedules with defined state and local portions. As you can see on the screen, they have a state column and a local column, and that makes up their annual salary. These groups are the Custodial Chiefs 1, Administrative Assistants, formerly known as the Building Secretaries, the Nutrition Manager, and the Assistant Nutrition Managers. These groups have already received the state increase on their salary scale, so the state column has already increased by 2% from their previous year. The proposed increase to the local portion of the salary scale is 3%. The second subset are groups where the state and local portions are combined into one salary as opposed to the scale with state and local broken out. These groups are the district office support staff and the JROTC. The proposed increase is 3% on the whole number for those groups. The results of these proposed changes keep our wage increases in line with and slightly below what was projected during the referendum process. The DFC approved these salary increases at their September 10th, 2025 meeting. If there are any questions, I can answer those now. And all of the individual schedules are included on board docs.
Mr. McCoy, I did have a question. If, are these numbers competitive with surrounding states?
Yes, they are. We're not the highest paid district. We're not the lowest paid district. I don't think we want to be the highest paid district, and we definitely don't want to be the lowest. So it puts us at a very competitive scale given our good reputation.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a question on the cafeteria manager scale. I see there's a category below 351 students that doesn't have a local share. First, do we have anybody in that category? And then just curious why there's not a local share tied to that one.
I don't believe we have anyone. If we do, they're likely just more of a helper, and they only deal with maybe specific lunches. I can double check on that, but I don't think there's anyone in that group. There's only 8, so that scale has a lot to it. There's only 8 employees spread throughout that entire salary scale.
Any other questions for Mr. McCoy?
Move to accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the new salary schedules.
Okay, Mr. Ackerman, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Najemi. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries. And still you, Mr. McCoy, with the monthly financial report for August.
All right. So we have the August 31st, 2025 monthly financial report. And since we're still in the early parts of the year, there's not much to it, but there are some points that I want to highlight. The first thing I want to highlight is the current expense tax receipts line, the first line under local funds. That line we have received $4.2 million, whereas compared to the prior year, we received $946,000 at this time. All of the districts in the county saw a large increase. We haven't really pinpointed the reason. We think people are just a little more attuned to their taxes this time around. I will say that we just received our collections number for September, and that number is pretty much offsets the higher balance that we received this year. So next month, you'll see that we're in line with where we were in the previous year. I also do want to mention that Newcastle County has reached out to all of the mortgage companies and the companies that process escrow payments and has told them not to send payments to school districts until they have received the new adjusted tax bill. So that will put us into a bit of a cash flow situation, but with the special session that allowed us to split tax rates, they also allowed us to use Division I state monies to cover ourselves if we run into cash flow issues. So we're in the process of figuring out what that actually looks like in practice so that we can use those funds without disrupting our normal operations.
Mr. McCoy, I'm a little confused. I thought the county collected the school tax and the county tax.
They do. So they reached out to the mortgage companies and told them not to pay anything, not school, not county, no VOTEC, nothing, until they receive the adjusted bills. And the last correspondence I had with the county, they expect those bills to hit mailboxes on October 15th, around October 15th. So that's not something that we anticipated. Previous conversations with the county, we were told that they're not going to withhold anything. They never mentioned that they would actually reach out to companies and tell them not to pay. We expected those escrow payments to come through and that things would be reconciled and credits would be sent back to residential properties, but that is not the case at this point in time. Now, whether those mortgage companies will listen to the county, I don't know. They might have automated payments set up that they can't really fine tune on an individual basis, but it's just something that we're aware of and that we're watching closely.
Can I just interrupt? Did you see a copy of whatever notice the county sent?
I have not. We have all the CFOs in Newcastle County have a call with the new CFO at Newcastle County on Wednesday.
Did the county explain or give you any legal authority? Nothing?
I didn't. I didn't even hear from the county that this was happening. I heard from another CFO who went to a Newark town hall where this was mentioned, and then we asked what's going on, and now we have a call on Wednesday.
That includes the county, you said, on Wednesday?
Yep.
Or that just, okay. Okay, thanks.
Yes, it's a.
Mr. McCoy, did you say that the new bills were anticipated to be sent out by October 10th?
They think that they will reach, he said they'll hit the streets October 15th.
15th, thank you.
So to go along with our current expense tax receipts, we also earn interest on that money that we collect. So if we're collecting the money later, we're earning less interest. And on top of that, our interest rate that we're receiving is now in the 4% range, whereas this time last year it was in the 5% range. So you can see that we're already seeing a decline in our interest income. The good thing is that our interest income was well over budget last year. So even though I budgeted a very similar amount to what was budgeted last year, I am hopeful that we'll reach the interest that is listed here. But we'll see as the money comes in, what we're recouping in interest, and make any adjustments to the final budget if necessary. So I don't have anything else worth mentioning on that line. Everything's pretty much status quo for only 2 months into the year. On page 2, in the other local funds section, you may notice that our other local revenue, the line that is page 2, is about 4 lines in. That is trending lower than last year, and that's because last year we received a $55,000 Juul settlement. I think all the school districts received a settlement for damages from kids using Juuls and vaping. So that's not something we'll see this year. That's just why we're below where we were last year, but I believe that will come up as the year goes on. If there's no questions on the revenue reports, I'll just keep on moving along. So on page 3 is when the expenditures start. A lot of the differences that you'll see in the expenditures, they're just kind of at this point of the year related to the timing of when things were input into the system. So for example, the facilities line, that has $1.1 million encumbered, whereas last year it had $756,000 encumbered. So it looks like the facilities line is trending much higher than it was last year, but really they're just getting their purchase orders in a lot faster than they were last year. Backing up, if you look at the percent obligated in the first 2 lines for our salaries, we're at 14.61%, whereas last year we were at 14.75%. And that is a good comparison, even though we just approved the salary increases. The salary increases for last year were approved at this same board meeting, so they're comparing apples to apples. If you go down to about midway, a little past midway, the secondary education support, that one shows that we are at 7.57% obligated, whereas last year we were at 50.26%. And that is because last year's budget included the athletic trainers, and now the athletic trainer contract is no longer in existence, and we have hired athletic trainers as Brandywine employees. So that's the reason for that decrease. And if there's anything jumping out to you, feel free to stop me. That's honestly pretty much on page 4, the federal funds expenditures, you'll see there's nothing, and that's consistent with last year because we have yet to receive our federal funds, and that's just due to the timing. It's similar to years past. Any questions?
I'm cutting to the chase a little bit, but it looks like the carryover is a little bit healthier on this report than it was on the last report. Is that true?
Yeah, so now we have 25 funds that have carried over into this new school year. Are you talking about the next page? Prior year encumbrances?
I'm talking about the cash flow.
The June 30th carryover.
The,
Last page, you jumped to the end.
oh, the cash flows carryover? Yes, that was, the cash flows was, so the starting cash flow is where we ended up last year. And then as we worked through, I added the actual numbers, and we're on page 5 now for August. And then I kind of spread out our tax receipts throughout October, November, December. And that was before I knew that the escrow payments were delayed, so those will still shift a little bit. The projected ending balance of $8.4 million, that's consistent with last month. And I still am hopeful that it's a conservative number. I was hoping that our interest income would help it out, but that does not look like the case. Sorry, we're on the next page.
Mr. McCoy, could I go back to page 3 at the bottom?
Sure.
Maybe I'm just misunderstanding this, but the Wilmington Learning Collaborative, last year was budgeted $250,000, and now it's only $75,000. Why the reduction?
So the Wilmington Learning Collaborative, we had a lot of money from previous years that we're still using up in this current year. So that doesn't show as an expense on this report. What this report shows is if Wilmington Learning Collaborative were to give us new money this year and we spent that new money, that would show up on here. And the reason for the decline is because we had such a healthy balance from years past that I don't think we would rely on new money as much as we had to last year.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have a question back on the cash flows, maybe a follow-up to Mr. Ackerman's. Do we know, or maybe the District Finance Committee can work on it and let us know next month, when do we expect to hit the 8.85 million
Yeah, absolutely.
target? And or with the next year's referendum payments, where will we be next year? Yeah, with the 20 cents that just got added.
Yeah, I'll try to get a projection on when we'll get to 8.8.
Okay. It's possible I misremembered, but I thought we were supposed to get to 8.8 this year, but I can't find where I think I remember that from, so I'm not sure.
I do think that was the goal. And again, I was conservative with the 8.4, so I do think that we'll get to 8.8, but I'll get some more dialed in numbers to paint a better picture.
Is there a chance that any of that has to do with the decrease in interest rate that we're getting with regards to money that, we have in accounts or things of that, any sort of interest rate going from 5 to 4%?
Yes, it's all factored in there. That the number that we had budgeted, I believe it was 1.9. That's what is included in the cash flow. I'll have to go back and see and project it out. It's hard at this point to project out what our interest income will be, since I have no clue what the cash flows will even look like and when we'll receive our tax receipts.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the financial report for August?
I don't know if you had said it yet or not, did the committee make a recommendation on the financial?
Oh, yes, the financial report was approved by the District Finance Committee at the September 10th, 2025 meeting.
Move to accept, subject to audit.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion, Mr. Ackerman, second, Mr. Najemi. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries. General information and meeting dates. Our next board meeting will be October 20th, and that will be held at Springer Middle School. October 20th, Springer Middle School. Springer. You're welcome. All right, is there a motion to adjourn? Oh, yep. The October 7th workshop is being canceled until November. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.